I'd like to welcome everybody today to the Season 9 off-season for the Minnesota Gophers Dynasty. It is time to get us prepared for the final year of the series. We're going to go a decade deep into this. It's been a long-running series, my longest-running series. We've completed 9 seasons already. It all began with a very average team going 6-7 the first couple of years. We did not win a bowl game until Season 4, but since then we've won a bowl game or the Big Ten championship in every year. So 6 years in a row we've won a championship of some sort. And now in the year 2022, the final year, what is in store for head coach MrHurriicane Sr. and the rest of the Minnesota Gophers? I'm excited to get this season underway, guys. I did not give you a proper recap at the end of the bowl game against Alabama where we won, so I'll go through a few stats and whatnot before we jump into the actual offseason, but I won't take a ton of time. The bowl game was a lot of fun, though. We overcame a Tim Gallagher pick 6 early in the game. And we... Wait, was it I thought it was a Tim Gallagher pick 6, was it not? It didn't show that in the scoring summary, but there's the interception, 82 yards. Yeah, that was a touchdown. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's not showing in the scoring summary. But we were able to defeat Alabama. Our defense once again stepped up. It's been the backbone of this team for a long time, and we're hoping that we can be even better this year, but we have some key players to replace. So let me go through the season stats quick for you guys. First year starting quarterback Tim Gallagher, I thought had a good season. Oh, what's up? We got Mike in here, Dark Falcon, a couple mods. Thank you guys for joining. But here are the stats for the 9th season, as Tim Gallagher finished with 33-30 in yardage, 23 touchdown passes to 14 interceptions, still too close to 1 per game. The interceptions are always an issue. Took 46 sacks and was 73% complete on his passes. But where the offense really thrived this year was with our senior tailback Matt Pierre, who averaged 5.9 yards a carry, nearly 1,300 rushing yards. Hey, Jamila's in here. How's it going, Jamila? 14 rushing touchdowns for Matt Pierre, and we also had some contributions from TJ Jackson and Tim Gallagher. Not much from anybody else. Sparingly, others played in the running game. But nearly 100 yards a game for Matt Pierre. He was very, very fun. He's not like a speed guy, but he still gets past players with his amazing agility. So he's a senior. He's about to graduate. Sad to see him go. We'll love another year with him, but that's not the case. Receiving, our leader was the tight end Marcus Williams. It was his time to shine this year. He was basically the veteran of the group, or one of them. Hadn't had much experience prior, but it was a young wide receiver core. And he finished with 61 catches, 825 yards, and 6 touchdowns. True freshman Clint Porter didn't have a huge season, but he was still a very solid player, recording 56 catches, 736 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Lee James was much more consistent, 5 touchdowns this year. Sophomore Nick Wilkerson had 3 touchdowns. Matt Pierre had 2 more touchdowns in the air. Brandon Jones had 3. Here are blocking stats, as we are actually one of the biggest stories heading into Season 10 is that we're going to replace 4 offensive linemen. We have a lot of seniors here on the line, and I'm going to have to find new guys to play in their place. We're graduating 6 players on offense and 6 on defense, and I'm thinking there could be a couple more juniors who are going pro. One of them could be Reggie Carter. All-American. He's an award-winning linebacker that's played very well for us. He's excellent against the ground. But is he going to stick around for his senior year in his home state and try to win a national championship? Here are the stats for our defenders. I thought we did a good job with our interior pass rush this season. Our defensive tackles were solid. There's Tony Hunter, John Rice, Greg Kelly the junior, All-American. Could he be going pro? Jason Harper is a senior, so he is gone. Josh Mackey was a nice surprise. He's just an absolute hammer against the run. Forces fumbles, lays big hits. He's a lot of fun to watch. We had a pretty good amount of forced fumbles, 10 as a team. That's, a little shy of 1 per game, but it's still a really good mark. Interceptions, we didn't get a lot of turnovers this year. Calvin Hall, I believe, had an interception in the first 3 weeks, but then he didn't get any more turnovers for us. We finished with 12 interceptions, and I'd like obviously a lot more than that. But we are graduating Joe Bennett, Joe Preston, and I'm thinking Calvin Hall could be going pro because last year he was going to go pro, but I convinced him to stay, and he had an excellent season. So I can only expect that he's going to try going pro again. Let's see, any defensive touchdowns? We had one for Calvin Hall. Just one. Let's check out... One sec. It's slow to catch up right now. There we go. Shane Wood field goals. Dwayne Miller punts. Eric Lemon, the kick returner. I let him play this year. I wanted him to stay and not transfer away due to lack of playing time. He's a nice return man and a safety with great cover skills and speed. Hopefully he's even better in his sophomore season. Okay, so that's the stats. Let me show you guys the roster quick. I'll go through the schedule one time. But here is the roster with Joe Bennett, Daniel Jones, Matt Pierre, our top 3 players. I have written down all of our seniors too, so I won't forget who they are. But you can get an idea here. You know, LaShawn Smith, maybe he's a junior that transfers away. He hasn't really had a lot of playing time because we've had good safeties on this team for a while, so we'll see what he chooses to do. But we have a lot of key juniors that I'm hoping stick around. Our lowest rated senior is Michael Gunn, a 79 overall right end who didn't play very much. But our other seniors, most of them were starters. 4 on the offensive line, Matt Pierre. Then there was Joe Bennett, Joe Preston, Jason Harper, Marcus Robinson, Aaron Harrison, and Michael Gunn. So there's a look at those. You guys want to see sliders quick? I can do that for you. They have not changed in like 3 seasons or more. I haven't touched them, but I play on Heisman, 8-minute quarters, 50 minimum speed threshold. The penalties are all default. Here are the user sliders. Most of them close to 50 besides QB accuracy. And on defense, kind of the same deal. QB accuracy is a little bit higher. But yeah, I have not touched these in a really long time. And I don't plan on touching them anytime soon. Let me just go through career stats quick so you can see the final numbers for some of our seniors. Obviously, this was first year for Tim Gallagher, so nothing to see there. Matt Pierre, 24-30, 22 touchdowns. You can see he didn't really play much besides his junior and senior year, so he doesn't have huge numbers, but the 2 years he did play a lot, he was very effective, especially his senior season. Here are all those numbers. I'm thinking this could be a year where we have to deal with a lot of potential transfers, though. I just have that feeling. Here are the receiving stats. No big numbers. I mean, we graduated those guys. Martin Parker, Terrence Johnson. Those were the 2 big ones in Season 8. We graduated other guys as well. Defensively, here are tackle numbers. Here are sack numbers. Greg Kelly has 29 and could be back next year for more. Interceptions, Joe Bennett finished with 9. I'm expecting him to be a very high draft pick. Very nice cover safety with a lot of speed and ball skills. Forced fumbles, fumble recoveries. Greg Kelly getting lucky, he has 5 of them. Touchdowns. Calvin Hall, the only one, he has 2. Who won Heisman? Let me check the awards too. We'll go through awards and then we should be ready to... I'll do All-Americans too. But we'll be going to the offseason very shortly. Here are the Heisman winner, or Heisman candidates, as the winner was Russ Rhodes, quarterback from TCU. Nothing but quarterbacks and running backs here in the top 5. And we had some award winners, along with All-Americans. Let's check out the first team All-Americans first. Nathan Smith, the senior from Illinois, is the quarterback. Nobody on offense for us. Oh, we got Greg Kelly here, first team All-American. Would love to have him back. Tony Hunter, Reggie Carter, Calvin Hall, Shane Wood, Eric Lemon at returner. So like I said, defense is our strength, and that's where our All-Americans lie. Second team, Vincent Walker. Nice run stopper. Freshman? Anybody? Eric Lemon at safety. All-American. Good to see. Now let's go all Big Ten. And surprisingly, we didn't even have any on offense here at first teamer. But familiar faces are all conference champions, or all conference winners. Second team, now we have some offense with Matt Pierre, Zack Turner, Jared Newsom, and Daniel Jones, Craig Moore, Josh Mackey, Joe Bennett getting some love there. All right, time for awards. Maxwell goes to Russ Rhodes. Walter Camp to Russ Rhodes. Bednarik goes to Reggie Carter. Good award for him. Reggie Carter also wins the Nagurski. O'Brien goes to Rhodes. Walker to Trenton Tillman of Clemson. Robbie Ransom gets the wide receiver Biletnikoff Award. The Mackey Award goes to Josh Cox, as Marcus Williams was 7th. Outland Award was Dan Miller. Remington was Dan Miller. Lombardi, Tony Hunter. Best linebacker, no special name for it, goes to Reggie Carter. Thorpe goes to Mark Roberts. Groza, Shane Wood. And the Ray Guy Award to Randy Shaw. Best returner, Eric Lemon. Those are all the awards. And now one last look at our schedule, and then we're moving on. We started the season winning 6 games in a row, but tripped up in overtime against Northwestern. Continued winning, or got a win against Michigan, then fell to Illinois in a very good game in Week 11. Won some more games, but then lost to Purdue in another overtime heartbreaker before winning a bowl game against Alabama. So those overtime games, they snuck up on us, and interceptions by me, really cost us there. But now, the number 13 Gophers at 10-3 are ready to move on to Season 10. Say goodbye, everybody, to Season 9. You guys want to see Aaron Higden's numbers quick? Alright, I canceled it, but I'm not sure it'll work in time. That's a good idea, though, to check out Aaron Higden. We got some simulating to go on right now. Why didn't you announce the Leon Daniels trophy? Oh, man. His legacy still is absolutely ridiculous. So Season 9 ain't quite gone yet. We have to check UAB's thing quick. Aaron Higden. He finished with 896 yards with 6.2 yards a carry and 6 rushing touchdowns. 1 fumble. Higden also had 3 touchdowns in the air. Perhaps UAB finds themselves on our schedule again next season. By the way, I just want to check something quick. We played Higden at home. I'm pretty sure I set that up where Higden was finally coming back to Minnesota and facing his former team. I just wanted to make sure so that I go to the opposite stadium next time. And yeah, that was a 9-0 victory. That was crazy. Our first shutout in the series overall. So perhaps we go to UAB next year. But let's advance to the end of bowl season now. Season 9's finally over. Who won the national championship? We'll find out. I don't know yet. The bowl week has to be simmed. And if you're quick, you can see the bowl results there at the bottom when it's simulating. But I think they're all over now. I believe Clemson was in the national championship. Or maybe it was TCU. Maybe it was both. I forget. These sims do take a little while, though. Are you doing this for 60 seasons? No, it's going to end after 10. Although going 60 seasons deep would be pretty fun. Just to see what happens over the course of 6 decades. Would take a long time to get through, though. But I'm excited to also show you guys who my recruiting commits were. I haven't really shared this yet. I was kind of hiding it, you know, I guess you could say. I didn't really share that. I wanted it to be kind of a surprise. And we'll see that here in a moment, but I want to see the schedules. Play TCU on the road this year. We could have a tough, nice non-conference game or two. But here are the bowl results. Where Iowa lost their bowl game. UAB lost their bowl game. How did Aaron Higden do? Aaron Higden, what did he do in this one? 87 yards, no touchdowns on the ground, no catches. All right, so Purdue lost their bowl game. Ohio, that's not Ohio State. Michigan won their bowl game against Baylor. TCU loses their bowl game. They were 9-4. I thought they were better. Let's see. Ohio State lost their bowl game. Indiana won theirs against Arizona. Nebraska lost theirs badly to LSU. Let's see. Illinois won theirs. They were very good. They beat us. Penn State lost their bowl game in the BCS. That was a national championship game. Penn State and Clemson. So Clemson wins the national title going into season 10. Wow. Those were not very good passing yards. And actually, it was Penn State's quarterback who played well. Clemson really didn't pass the ball much. They ran the football all day. So Clemson are the champs. I'm sure Dark Falcons happy as can be. So a lot of Big Ten bowl losses. We won, Illinois won, Michigan won. And now to the end of the season. I'm ready for the offseason, guys. You think that's foreshadowing? Clemson winning the national championship? We shall find out. All right, so there are some recruiting updates on players. And now we should be into the offseason. Sammy Hollins won? Yes. Sammy Hollins, the national champion. All right. View the contract. I get an extension. I thought I already had a 5-year extension. They want to give me a 7-year extension now. I'll sign it. And so, next stage, coaching carousel is not necessary. Next is players leaving. And so this one is the one that has me a little bit nervous because could juniors be going pro or could some of the less used juniors be transferring? We've seen that happen before with like Aaron Higden leaving after not getting enough playing time in his first year. I'll upgrade my coaching stuff later. My recruiting tree is already maxed out, so all I can do is in-game stuff, so I don't have to do that right now. So players leaving. This is the one. This is the one that really could really shake up things. But first, let's go to coaching changes. I want to see what's happened here in the Big Ten. Any new coaches? Illinois is the same. Same. We kept both of our coordinators. That's good. New OC for Penn State. And a new defensive coordinator for Penn State. Purdue stays the same. Rutgers has a new head coach. And the head coach for Rutgers is now the offensive coordinator for Penn State. So interesting. Players leaving. Okay, let's check this one out, guys. Let's take a look. Oh no, look at all these declares. Oh my goodness. And then 2 transfers. It's kind of what I expected. Here are all the guys projected to go pro. But oh my, we have 5 juniors declaring. 5. And then 2 freshmen transferring. Well, here we go. I don't want to have all these changes at linebackers. The most important guy that needs to stay is Reggie Carter. He was the man to replace Jonathan Starks. And I need him on this team. I will guarantee Reggie Carter a conference championship. Thanks, coach, for reminding me that my education is very important to me. So it looks like he's actually going to stay. Reggie Carter isn't going anywhere. He's staying. That's the big one. Oh, all these 0-12 comments need to stop. Vincent Walker, very high. I'm also guaranteeing him a conference championship. Yes, stay and get your degree, Vincent. Josh Mackey. I'm just going to keep telling these guys you can be a conference champ. At least there was a high chance of convincing them to stay. I don't want any of them to leave. The more I think about it, the more excited I get about playing for you, Coach. I've gotten 4 to stay. Coach Kane he's making these guys, see what they got to do. Even Mike Moore, who isn't going to start next year, is coming back. They all came back. They're all staying. Now, Andy Johnson, a key recruit from a couple years ago, very low persuasion chance here. And it looks like he might... I can't guarantee any of these things for him. I can't guarantee anything for Andy Johnson. Or Derek Austin. They both want to go to smaller schools. At least these guys are staying. But as you notice, guys, Calvin Hall wasn't on this list. That means we're keeping our star safety, our star strong safety for next year. That's big. And so, Andy Johnson, he's probably not going to play. I don't want to promise anything more than that, so I guess we just let him go. We have LaShawn Smith. We have Mike Moore. Let's advance. Transfer requests. So could anybody want to transfer here, although they won't be able to play because they're not eligible for 2 years. Y'all want me to lie? Nah. Transfer requests. I'll just take a look, although none, not necessary. Alright, the draft results. Where did our Golden Gophers go? There it is. Joe Bennett in the 1st. Matt Pierre, a 3rd round pick. Joe Preston, a 4th. Daniel Jones, Jared Newsome, and Marcus Robinson, all 7th. So we had 5 guys go pro. Big. Alabama had 4 guys go pro. Arizona had 3. I do want to see the guys from our conference, though, and how they went. Oops, not UConn. Alright, Illinois, their quarterback went 1st round. Indiana had nobody. Iowa had 2 guys, 2 very good players. Maryland, nobody. Michigan had 5 guys as well, 2 in the 1st round. Michigan State had 4. Nebraska had 5. A 3rd round fullback. Impressive stuff. Check Higden. Okay, I'll make sure I check Higden. Although I doubt he's even eligible. Northwestern had 2, including Zach Henley, who was very good against us. Ohio State. Oh my, long list. 9. Ohio State. We'll see how they replace those players. Penn State had 4, including their 1st round quarterback. Purdue, none, and we lost to them. Rutgers had 2. I gotta see UAB, nobody, so Higdon's still there. And where is Wisconsin? None from Wisconsin. A lot of 0-12 comments. I'm not liking that. So we're going to our final recruiting, where you guys get to finally see the players that I already have committed. And there are some really good ones that you guys are going to be excited about. So we continue on. There are some recruits that have locked us out. And we are in some recruiting battles. But we have, I believe, 5 guys that have already committed. Yeah, I thought I snuck it in at the very end for those who would watch the video to the very end of my bowl game episode. I thought I put that in there. So maybe some of you have already seen these players. But here's a look so far at the top classes. Where are we ranked? Down at 68 because we only have 5 commits so far. But some of them are very valuable. I want you guys to meet the 5 recruits. Here is the recruiting board. And down we go. These are my 5 commits, guys. Starting with the number 2 outside linebacker, Trey Young. So had we lost those linebackers, I would have a player already. He's still likely going to play as a true freshman. But he's the number 2 outside linebacker in the class. He has 78 speed, which isn't great, not very agile, but he's a powerful run stopper with 84 hit power, 87 tackle, and 84 block shed. That block shed is pretty monstrous. That's impressive. So there is Trey Young from North Carolina. Next, Terrence Butler, a JUCO transfer, 6'2", 206 from San Jose, California. And he has 93 speed, so some speed in our receiving core, but his hands aren't very good. His route running's an 81, so he's a depth receiver with some big play potential. Athlete, Michael Allen, the 31st ranked athlete in the country. And what did I peg him as? He has 84 speed. He has decent throw power and accuracy. I think I pegged him as like a running back or a receiver. Yeah, he has 85 route running, 75 catching, 84 speed. His stiff arm and juke and elusiveness were good, so I pegged him as a running back who could also play some receiver roles. Next, the top athlete, Jeremy Smith at 5'10", 217. And Jeremy Smith has very good break tackle, route running, speed is 89, elusiveness is good. These guys could both be halfbacks. Oh no, I see a Troy Williamson comment for the JUCO receiver. We don't need that. And then Jeremy McBride, who's the 129th ranked receiver at 69 overall. And, you know, just a depth guy that I didn't really have any competition for, any real competition. And so he just committed pretty early in the process. But those are our 5 guys. I was very excited about these 2 athletes, Terrence Butler and Trey Young. But there's still some work to do. And you can see the rest of my targets here. I definitely want to get these offensive linemen, though. I know we have some guys ready to play. But I got to recruit some new offensive linemen. So allow me to put a bunch of points into this number 10 rated center. There's another receiver I like, the number 2 wide receiver, Zack Lee, 93 speed, and his catching is also very poor, but he has superb route running, 93. He just has no hands. He has great size, too. Adam Harrell, I'll put some points into him. Hopefully don't have to put too much. Number 9 ranked guard. I might do a little bit more scouting, too. Here's Steve Slaughter from Madison, Wisconsin. 86 speed, not really, doesn't have any other great traits or any great traits at all. Just kind of a guy who can do everything decently. And I like to have him instead of Michigan State. So I'll put some points into him. Unlock the corner. Need to unlock the... How do I unlock again? I forgot how to do it. Like, I thought I had a thing that could break the lock. But I just don't know. Options. No. Yeah, is there a way to break the lock? I thought that was one of the abilities that you get for recruiting. Whoops, I backed out. But actually, I wanted to go check out my roster anyway and just see what my offensive line situation looks like. Do I have to go aggressive for some high-rated guards if they're there? Go to top schools? Okay. I'm just backing out quick. Thank you, guys. Alright. Oh, I can't see my roster from here, can I? I can see my depth chart, though, from the recruiting menu. You have to be within 2,000 points? I've seen some people say 5,000. So maybe I wasn't close enough to a couple of those guys. Let me check the depth chart quick. Quarterback, Tim Gallagher. Halfbacks were there. Receivers. So left tackle, we have Zack Turner. At left guard, there is Tate Barnes, a center. Uh-oh. We are not looking... Let me auto reorder. I have to have more offensive linemen than that. There. Left tackle, Zack Turner. There's a guard, Anthony Lewis. These guys are not looking too strong, though. But they haven't had their development either, so they're all going to be higher rated going into next year. I'm not are those all of them? I thought I had some redshirted guys who were decent. But our offensive line could be a big weakness in this final season. I mean, it wasn't a good situation to have 4 starters graduate in 1 year. So if I have to go aggressive for some offensive linemen, I will do that. So let me go back to the search quick. I want to find some offensive linemen. We might only have a couple quality offensive linemen, though, and that worries me. Could see Gallagher running for his life the entire season if that's the case. And who knows what that's going to do for a running game. So, tackles. Let me just check out lock percentage. Alright, I gotta find, I gotta change the filter to have a better caliber. Okay. Alright, tackles. Please let there be somebody we can go for. 6th place here for a 62. No. Guards. He's already on my board. 55, 66, 60. Center. I'll put him on the board, but he's already very locked. Let me just check anybody else that's worth scouting that has low lock percentage. Let's see. Anything catching my eye? There's a receiver at 63. I've already scouted him. I think I should focus right now on the guys who are already on my board. Yeah, I know you really get those guys that you add late, but I've had it happen before. You still have redshirt O-linemen? Are they not listed? Well, that would be good news then if that's the case. Because I could have swore I had some. So Adam Harrell, might put a few more points into him. Although 69 overall is not really what I want playing. So that's 12,000, so that's way too far. You guys said that I can break the lock if I'm close enough on some of these guys. 11,000. See, if I started falling behind, I really just let them go. And so those locks, I can't do anything with. Here's one I need to... Offer scholarship. I always have a chance, though, of getting a insta-commit. I didn't get it here. 73% locked. I shouldn't even put points into him. It's risky. Victor Jackson. We have the lead for him. Ed Prince. A 78 overall receiver. Man, why don't these guys have hands? Jerry Inman. This is the one we have to put some points in. Trying to overcome 3 teams. We'll hope that they overlook them. So I'll go around 3K right now. Travis White, do you have hands? No. Where are the receivers that can catch? Joey Day. No. Scott Bailey. Number 2 strong safety. No. There's Tyler Morris. 77 catching. Like, all these guys need work with their hands. Walter Payne. 72 catching. Have to be in first place to insta-commit. Okay. Is that how it works? I think I've had one insta-commit before, and I think it was Andy Johnson who transferred. So insta-commit hasn't been very kind to me. I want to do one more thing. I want to go back to the board, and I just want to find anybody who has us already like high on their list, so I can see if there's any last-ditch efforts I can go for. 99 matches. Okay, intention, interest level. We're first for Thomas Washington, a speed receiver at 6'5". What do you think he's bad at? What's his catching? 61. No. Leonard Foster, Reggie Anderson, Zack Lee, Mark Britton. I'll put him on the list. 61 corner, no. Let me go caliber now. Any 5 stars? Here's a middle linebacker that has a 6, but we're probably way far behind. Oh, yeah, just a little bit. There's one. Shannon Stanford has a 6. How far behind are we? Looks like he could be a linebacker, perhaps, but we're way too far behind. Clarence Wesley, how far behind are we here? Yeah, if we're like that percent locked, it's not going to be good. Brad Ryan. Never really looked into him, and we're still 3,400 behind. I'll put him on the list just in case. Victor Benson, too far. Joe Coker, Cameron Culliver. I scouted a lot of receivers. They just can't catch. Michael Lewis. No, that's too much to overcome. Thomas Washington, I scouted him. Luke Handy. Okay, I put him on the board. We're not far behind. I am looking at lock percentages. The ones that are really locking us out, we just don't have a chance for. I could have filtered it, but I'm already going through, so. Brian Alvarez? Okay. Looking for some late gems here. Never know what you're going to find. I have one more spot on the board. Just one. So let me find one more. And they're kind of getting lower overall as we go. We're into the 3 stars right now. 4th. Alright, let me just go interest level sort now. Leonard Foster. David Newsome. Come on, there's got to be someone worth... All these Roll Tide tweets or messages. Where are these coming from? Michael Montgomery. Maybe he's worth scouting. 17, 15. I don't want to overcome that. Tyson Young. No, Iowa can have him. How about Melvin Buckley? D-zone coverage, probably not going to be very good. Let me go by lock percentage now. I know this is taking forever, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be diligent. George Fletcher, Joe Gross, David Newsome. He's from Canada. I'll just put him on the board. I had to put someone there. All right, let me just do some scouting quick, and we'll see if there's anybody left for us to go for. Maybe some of those first place guys we can get to insta-commit. That would be very cool. Let's see. Let me sort by not scouted. There's only 6 of them. So this guy's a strong safety. Maybe I won't scout him if he has C speed as the projection. Brad Ryan. He's actually a 79. Are we top school with him? No, and we're far behind. I shouldn't have even scouted him. Top school for Luke Handy. And, oh boy, that C speed almost deterred me. But he has 87 speed, 80 press, 78 zone. Something to work with here. Brian Alvarez. He is not very good. Let's see. Mark Britton, 160. Behind. And no, I'm not going to go for that. Andrew Rogers. 70 catching. No. David Newsome. I don't even know if it's worth scouting. He might just end up here default. Alright, one more thing I want to do is I just want to go through receivers and see if I can find some guy who can just catch. I want to find a wide receiver and a minimum speed of 4.65. 4.66. $157 matches found. So can any of these guys catch? That's what I'm looking for. We'll scout Eric Thomas. I've already scouted Andrew Rogers here. 90 speed. Whoops. 70 catching. Anybody who has like a B or a higher catching, I'll try to scout them. But chances are we wouldn't be in the race for them. Like the worst hands in recruiting class history. That guy's got a 66. Switch to DB now. I know they can be higher at times, but I'm not looking to scout a bunch of these. Yeah, I think it's just best that we move on and just start putting points in, guys. The entire recruiting class is Jared Rollins, pretty much. Pretty much. So let me just go by scholarships quick. No scholarships. We have a couple of guys I haven't scouted yet. I'll just scout Eric Thomas. And, oh no. No diamond in the rough here. No scholarships. But who are we in first place for? First place for Dustin Daly, John Hopkins. All right, so if I'm going to offer something, it needs to be to Dustin Daly or John Hopkins. Are they worth it? A corner? I don't think he's worth it. John Hopkins? No. So let me just go back and start dumping points into players. Putting 3 into, maybe like 32 into Ernest Downing. Here's Zack Lee. Some big playability, but no hands. I'll still put some points. Look at athletes. Look at athletes' hands. Okay, I'll do that quick. Thank you for the heads up, guys. And I'm going to try going less than 50% locked now. Only 7. So there won't be much to look at. Skills. B catching for Sam Mitchell. B catching for Maurice Johnson. B catching for Anthony Jackson. D, C. So how good? Sam Mitchell here. It'd be really hard for me to win one of these, though. Maurice Johnson, Sam Mitchell. But I'm excited to see us, get our ratings up in that off-season training, and hopefully we have red shirts that weren't listed on that depth chart, because I'm worried about our offensive line. Maurice Johnson is a 77. Okay, and his catching is an 80. He can run routes, 84 speed. Sam Mitchell. Here we have an 82 catching, 82 speed, plus 11. My goodness. I don't know if I've ever seen a plus 11. Let me offer these guys scholarships so they have a chance to join us. I'm not sure what it will take, though. For now, I'm just going to put $750 into both. And now, no scholarships. Let me just check these. Luke Handy. And no, I'm not even going to try for Brad Ryan. Let me put some points into Zack Lee, trying to overcome Texas here. Adam Harrell. There's Steve Slaughter. Around 1,000 more. Tyler Morris. What were his ratings again? 77 catching. Scott Bailey, Joey Day. Man, 55 spectacular catch. The ultimate anti-Odell Beckham. Let's see, there's Ed Prince with his 77 catching, which isn't quite as bad as some of the others I've seen. Victor Jackson. 91 speed. What did I call him again? A running back. Or a receiver. Maybe probably a better receiver. He has low break tackle. Well, he has good spin and elusiveness. Is it JUCO? Yeah, I am spreading my points thin on some of these guys. Like, I've won recruiting battles by putting low points into players before. Like, people, this is always like one of the times where people give me like a million different types of advice on how to attack this. Is that going to be enough for the 76 overall center? I might just have to drop out for Zack Lee. I'm already down 1,500 and I want to put my points elsewhere. So I think I'm going to remove Zack Lee, although I would like to have him. I want a chance to get some other players. Or a better chance. If they put 1,000 points in, I'm like, I can't catch up. I'm sure Texas would want a good receiver. This one's going to take some work. Now I can put a few more points in Ed Prince and Victor Jackson, but I don't think my chances here are great, but I'm kind of taking a risk. And then there's Maurice Johnson. Yeah, I don't like my chances with these guys that I don't have on their board yet. So I'll take them off too. Let me just go through. Here's Luke Handy. Brad Ryan, too low. I'll just remove. How good was Handy? Decent. And it's all Big Ten competition here. Indiana's nowhere to be seen, and that's his home state. So, okay, are we about ready? Here's Travis White. 71 speed. I'm just going to take him off the board. That spectacular catch is scary. Not in a good way. Joey Day, he'll go off the board. Tyler Morris. I have a chance to go for him now. But Michigan State's there. I'm not putting enough points into him to compete. So it might not be the most star-studded recruiting class, but hopefully we get some quality players regardless. How good was Ed Prince again? 77 catching. Okay. Probably, you know, not as big or as good as Zack Lee, but I think that he is more suitable here. So I think I'm ready to skip ahead. These are the points that I've put into the players. And now we'll skip forward and see what happens. Oh, was that player from Iowa? I must have mixed up my abbreviations. My bad. I'm sorry. So, okay. I'm ready to skip forward. Hopefully we get a few of those guys. We're graduating 12 and 2 transferred. So, can we get to 14? I don't want new walk-ons. We don't need any Leons here in the final season, although it would be ridiculously fitting. Signing day, here we come. Alright, it's always a long simulation here. We do need more Leons. No, I disagree. I would not agree with that statement. All right, Luke Handy, Gary Inman, Ernest Downing, and David Newsome, the 58 overall end. So I missed out on a lot of these guys, more than a handful. A couple arms full. But I got a few of the good ones. I got the 2 offensive linemen I really wanted. Steve Slaughter went to Michigan State. How close were we for some of these players? We got Handy. Let's check my board and see how close I got to some of these guys. So there's Ernest Downing. We won by 215. So I just put enough into him. I handled that pretty smart. Not even close there. Oh, just missed out on Adam Harrell. Steve Slaughter. Needed more than that. Any other close ones? I don't like seeing when they're close because then I know I screwed up. Put a little bit more than I had to in Gary Inman or Jerry Inman. Ronnie Macklin, short miss. Hey, look, you went to UTSA by 5 points. Luke Handy. Oh, Iowa didn't even try that hard. And then David Newsome. We'll see if he makes the team. And here were the rest. So we could have some walk-ons on this roster. Ed Prince went nowhere yet. So where do we finish as far as the recruiting classes rank? Because we didn't have like the quantity. We did have a good amount of quality, but it's only the 36th ranked recruiting class. I still put a lot of time into this one, but unfortunately it was one of my weaker classes. It was one of my weaker classes, but I still got like the best athlete, the second best outside linebacker, a really good JUCO wide receiver, and some good offensive linemen. So skipping ahead now to signing or past signing day to the potential to change positions for players. Will they have the walk-ons here yet? I forget. Looks like they definitely do. I don't know who Joe Goss is or why he has 63 speed and what's his throwing attributes. 70 throw power, 69 accuracy. I don't know. There's also Johnny Franklin. Oh, he's not a walk-on, though, I don't think. I had him and redshirted him. Tailbacks. Trey Grigsby. Another fullback is on the roster now. Corey Handy. Wide receivers, Lee James, Nick Wilkerson, Brandon Jones, Clint Porter, Randy Rodriguez, Jacob Smith, Terrence Butler. Butler is the JUCO. Tight ends. All right, offensive linemen. And we haven't seen these guys gain any their off-season training yet, so their ratings will be higher than you see here. So here is Zack Turner. Most reliable offensive lineman, it appears. Jerry Inman, true freshman. Tate Barnes at center. Andrew Peterson at guard. Jonathan Williams at right tackle. I don't know if there are any other redshirted players that are missing here. This could be everybody, which does not bode well for our offensive line. But defensively, we're strong. We're very strong here. Got to find an edge rusher opposite of Greg Kelly. Inside, we're strong. At linebacker, we have Reggie Carter, Trey Young. Middle linebacker, Vincent Walker. Right outside, Josh Mackey. Corners, we had to graduate. A couple good ones. Safety, we're strong. Yeah, the team doesn't quite look as strong as it did last year with a lot of the players that have graduated. So let me find a home for these two athletes. Here's Jeremy Smith. 81 overall halfback, 81 overall receiver. I'll see what I prefer him to be. 89 speed, 84 trucking, 80 break tackle. So he definitely looks like a pretty reliable running back. And Michael Allen, I thought he was the same, but 84 speed. We'll take a look at his catching. 75, 85 route running. And actually, he's a pretty decently rated quarterback, too. I think I'm going to put him at wide receiver. Let me see if I have to even up any more of these positions. Running back's looking good. It's mainly like the positions that have lefts and rights. So 3 left tackles and 1 right tackle. Let me move 1 to right. I'll move J.J. Lester there. Guards, we have 2 here and 1 here. Centers, we have 2 here. Left ends, 3. Right ends, 4. Left outside, 3. Right outside, 3. Let me check middle, 2. And plenty of safeties. Plenty. Okay. There's our kicker, our punter. Athletes are taken care of. And let's push ahead. I want to see how much better these guys got because I think we're all feeling a little bit down right now, seeing that our offensive line isn't looking too good, but we have to see those training results and see how much better everybody got. It's always a good time with the offseason. Nothing bad ever happens in this stage. Okay, training results. Oh boy, Greg Kelly's a 98 overall, Vincent Walker's a 96, Calvin Hall a 95, LaShawn Smith a 94, Reggie Carter a 94, Mike Moore a 94. Alright, that's good. Tim Gallagher now a 92 overall. And his throwing ratings are as follows: 91 throw power, 91 throw accuracy. At running back, Chauncey Thornton and T.J. Jackson find their way into the 90s. Fullbacks, Grigsby now an 80. Wide receivers, there we go, looking a lot stronger here. Look at Brandon Jones getting +2 speed. Tight ends. Left tackles, okay, Zack Turner's now an 89. At guard, Anthony Lewis is a 76, along with our true freshman, Tate Barnes, I mean. I think Tim Barnes is actually a center. Isn't he a Ram? 84 overall anyway. Gets that +6. Andrew Peterson's now a 78. And J.J. Lester is a 78. So the offensive line is a weakness. No hiding that fact. Let's see. Ricky Jack could be a starter this year. How are his ratings looking? Good power move. Nice block shed. Perhaps a suitable replacement for Jason Harper. There are the DTs, Reggie Carter, Vincent Walker, Josh Mackey. Corners, we had to get these guys better. Our depth isn't looking as good there. We'll see if any of these safeties can play corner. Because, I mean, that would be a huge help for us. We have a lot of safeties who are capable. So I'll have to see if maybe Eric Lemon can play corner. Or somebody else. Calvin Hall, the star safety. Excited that he's back. I was hoping he'd stick around, but I wasn't confident in it. He is an elite one. And so there are the upgrades, guys. Here are all the players in the 90s for overall. Here are the fastest players on the team. Here are the strongest. Look at that, Reggie Carter's in there. Let's see, who has the best hands on the team? Marcus Williams, then Lee James, Randy Rodriguez. Spectacular catch goes to Clint Porter, catching traffic to Nick Wilkerson. Wow, a 99. He's got 99 route running. Better get open this year for us then, and quick, because our offensive line's kind of scary. Let me check out our best blockers. Pass block. Zack Turner, Tate Barnes, Anthony Lewis. Vincent Walker has really good pass blocking. Wow. Run blocking, Zack Turner, Andrew Peterson, Tate Barnes, J.J. Lester. I can't believe Vincent Walker is that good of a blocker. That is ridiculous. He's not a great blocker, but he's extremely good for a linebacker. Next, cut players. We have some walk-ons got to take care of. Kane should run big nickel. It's an option. And also running more of the 3-3-5 stuff that put in 3 safeties. The 3 safety sets could be one of our best things to do this year. Just because we're deeper at safety than corner. So now it's time to cut players. But yes, I have to figure out how to run this defense this year. I only have to cut 1. Just 1. And it looks like it's going to be... We keep Joe Goss maybe and cut Corey Handy. Can I even? I can't. Corey Handy has to stay. Let me go back to lowest overall. John Preston. David George. Oh no, he's the new Leon, isn't he? I'm cutting John Preston though. So there you go. There's your new hero, everybody. David George, middle linebacker number 0. With dreadlocks. I'm sure he'll be your favorite player in the world. So already, only had to cut 1 at least. David George, number 0. Oh my god. Custom conferences, I never really changed anything here, and I'm not going to today. I just can't believe that you guys have a new Leon to worship. Oh, Leon is David George's mentor. David George for Heisman. Oh. Man, you guys did create Leon Daniels. That was all you guys creating the legend of Leon Daniels. And now David George takes his place. Number 0. Takes forever to get here. Okay. I'm not resetting the tree. I'm just going to skip past this stage and on to the preseason. And so, Season 10 is upon us, everybody. I still have to set the schedule and whatnot, though. So we'll figure out what I do there. But I do plan to have UAB on the schedule again at UAB. I think I know 2 teams I want to play in non-conference play. And the other one, I think I want it to be Georgia. After losing the national championship to them, I think I want Georgia on the schedule. Are you planning on doing practice? I hope to. I actually do plan on doing that for you guys. Not getting past the stage of preseason, though. So let me do custom schedules. Let's edit this. You guys want Clemson on the schedule? So here's our conference schedule. No Ohio State. Yeah, we played them this year, so it's our off year to play Ohio State. So here's Houston. I'll just erase this game quick if I can. Whoops. Make it open. UAB is not available this week. UAB is available this week for us to travel. And then we have this game at Maryland is locked. Georgia's not available there. I could try giving us some later non-conference stuff too. Who's available in week 8? Clemson is not Georgia. You guys want Clemson on the schedule? They won the national championship last year. Who can we open in, let's see. It gives us Clemson right now. Okay, we'll get rid of the Idaho game. Let's see. There's UAB. Are there any, like, lower-rated top 25 teams maybe we could play? Like UCF maybe is an option, or TCU. So we could go UAB, and then Maryland, a quick conference game, followed by TCU, then go back to conference. Would you guys want like a weird schedule like that? You'll want a neutral site for the Clemson game? I don't know. I kind of want to go at Clemson. That'd be fun. UAB, Maryland. Here's TCU. If I leave this open, what could I do in week 1, though? I don't like that disjointed non-conference schedule. I could play TCU here, then. And then go UAB the following week. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 home games. We could play Clemson here and give us an even schedule. Or we could go at Clemson, open the season at home against number 17 TCU. TCU week 1 neutral site. A nice season kickoff game. Yes, I do want to play at Clemson, though. That would be a fun game to play in the middle of our season. Go to Clemson, defending national champs, and then gear up for a tough run here late. We got to strengthen for our late run here. So we're going to play Clemson right there. We're going to go at UAB. And then you guys, a lot of you are saying you want a neutral game for week 1 against TCU. I wanted to play Georgia, but the schedule just didn't work out that way. So, oh well. A lot of people saying MetLife. We'll go MetLife then. We open up neutral against TCU, and then we travel to UAB. We don't play our first home game until against Rutgers here. And then, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 home games. So only 5. 6 on the road and 1 neutral. At least we close at home. I like that. I wish I could just change one of these road games to home, like against Wisconsin. But it alternates. Just the way it happens. I play 3 home games in a row, too. Then 3 road games later in the season. So, okay, I like that schedule. Now everybody wants it to change to Cowboys Stadium. And some people want it in the Rose Bowl. Well, you know what? I think I just want to play this one at home, honestly. Maybe we'll just skip the whole neutral site thing. Neutral's kind of cool, but I also like playing at home. And I want to have 6 home games this year and not 5. So I am making the executive decision to put this in Minnesota. Where is it? How do I make it not neutral? Yeah, not everybody likes that, but I want it in Minnesota. If they had the Metrodome in the game, though, I would put all my games there. Man, I don't see it. Clemson neutral. I like the idea of going to Clemson, though. Let me just reset it quick. I know what I have to change it to. Or no, it didn't change anything. It's still at Clemson. It's still giving me MetLife here. I have to reset. Then I'll just do it later. Yeah. I don't need to do it right now. Redshirting players. This is the final season of the series, so I don't really think I should redshirt anybody. So I'll just kind of leave this alone for now. But what we could do now is set the depth chart and get some practice in with this new look team. So let me auto reorder, and then I will edit it as I see fit. Then I should be able to get us into practice. Just getting this the way I like it. Tight end, don't have many of them. Left tackle, Zack Turner. This is going to be interesting to see how our offensive line plays this year. Are we better off with the true freshman? Let's see. His run blocking is higher, but his pass blocking is lower. His impact is lower. So I'll go Anthony Lewis. Center's okay. Right guard's not great. Right tackle's not great. That definitely has me worried. Man, LaShawn Smith. They have him in here as backup safety. At a lot of different spots. Barry Hogan, defensive lineman. Right outside. Get Robinson in there. Corners, Ronnie Osborne, Jason Johnson. Eric Lemon here. Maybe he could play some corner. His awareness is a 67 in that spot compared to 75 at free safety, so it's not significantly different. Let me see LaShawn Smith here. Calvin Hall at strong. And at corner, maybe Eric Lemon would be best off here. Is this the right spot at corner, though, for him? Inside in the nickel. Maybe. I'll have to test some things in practice mode, but I'll let him play nickel cornerback right now. I want to get these safeties on the field. We have so many talented safeties. And then at returner, I would like to have Eric Lemon. And at returner, punt returner, Eric Lemon as well. Maybe Brandon Jones will get a chance. So I think if I reset my my formation subs, I should be able to get into practice mode, because before it would hang up and freeze the loading screen, but I found that if I reset my formation subs that it wouldn't do that. And I always reset them every year because I have a new roster and I want to set up new ones for new players. So I'll reset them now and try to get us into practice.